to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
So take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just breathe in a feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just release that tension now. That's it. Going deeper and deeper relaxed. That's right. Breathing in that relaxation and just allowing yourself to release that tension now. That's right. And occasionally, you may pick up on sounds other than my voice. Sounds nearby. Noises, footsteps, voices. And in a strange and contradictory way, the more that your conscious mind is distracted, the better able I am to influence your subconscious mind. The part of your mind that decides how fast your heart is going to beat, how many breaths you need to take. So much of what happens without thought. Just happens all by itself. You don't think about blinking or breathing. These things happen all by themselves. And as you continue to breathe in and breathe out, just notice that tension is slowly but surely leaving your body, taking you deeper and deeper. Relaxed now, that's it. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to remember a time when you were reading a book. And perhaps that book was a book written by J.R.R. Tolkien. Maybe it was the first time you ever read that book. Just imagine perhaps seeing the map at the beginning of the book, flicking through the pages and getting lost in a world of your own imagination. Imagine flicking through the pages and perhaps learning about a hobbit. And as you read the pages, it didn't take any effort at all to imagine that you were in a different world. Perhaps a world to escape the real world. Maybe it was a world in Middle Earth. And maybe when you first saw the description of the Shires, you felt like you were there. Under blue skies, perhaps sunshine. And you enjoyed being in that environment, away from all the stresses and strains of real life. It was just easy to be somewhere else. And I want you to imagine you're there in the Shire, enjoying the sense of community, seeing those smiley faces all around. Perhaps there is laughter Perhaps you can see people moving and walking. But I want you to get a sense that you are revisiting this place. And perhaps you've not been here for a while. And I want you to get a sense like you're returning home. The problem is you've not been here for a while. And I want you to discover your little piece of the Shire, a whole. To an outsider, it would be a whole, but to you, you remember when it was a home. And I want you to get a sense that you've neglected this place. It was a safe place, a place where you felt safe. And I want you to get a sense that you've been to places far beyond the border of the Shire. You've been to dark places, evil places. But you've made great friends, had adventures. And I want you to get a sense that you've become stronger through what you've experienced. Most people in the Shire wouldn't have had to deal with the challenges and the adversity that you faced. But it's made you who you are. It's made you stronger. It's made you more resilient. It's giving you skills to cope with everyday life. And more. And when you arrive to this hole, you can see that maybe once a long time ago there was a garden. Maybe even vegetables growing in that garden. The door perhaps is either not there or hanging off its hinges. Windows perhaps with broken glass. I want you to imagine exploring, going in to that front door. And it isn't just that it's old and neglected and ruined. You get a sense of so much clutter, so much baggage, so many things that don't need to be there inside this hole. And perhaps you can remember a time when it was nice and homely and safe. But now, this is a place that you haven't wanted to visit. You haven't wanted to visit because it wasn't quite right. And I want you to get a sense that what if the physical representation of this hole and all these rooms, including the kitchen, the bedroom, with all those broken pots, things lying on the floor, old pictures that are just broken framed. Get a sense that there is a lot of possibility here, but it will require some work. And what if the physical representation of what once was home represents what's happening inside your mind? Some people have said, a tidy environment is a tidy mind. And I'm just wondering, what if you're perceiving this hole because it represents an opportunity to spring clean your mind, to have a fresh start, to take all the strength, resources, and experience you've had from your adventures in life, but now to enjoy this time. And could you really imagine enjoying living in this place in its current state? Because there are people that are happy people living in bodies that make it hard for them to be happy. And there are happy people living in minds where their minds make it hard for them to be truly happy. And what if? What if by tidying up and fixing and repairing and organizing this little hobbit hole, you could restore it to its former glory? Wouldn't that give you a sense of pride, accomplishment, satisfaction? And they say the way to eat an elephant is just one bite at a time. And there is a big job to do here in this hobbit hole. So why don't we start with one room at a time? And perhaps it could be the hallway. And I want you to get a sense that you have all of the tools and all of the resources needed to repair, to fix, to clean anything. Perhaps you start by fixing the door, cleaning the door, because the doorway is an invitation to other people. You know when this home is ready and all finished, you would want and you'd be happy to entertain guests, to take pride as you show them around. And I want you to get a sense that the doorway is going to be an invitation to say that you are open to the world. And I want you to make that door look as welcoming and as inviting as it's possible to do so. And perhaps you can think that a smile is the equivalent of a door. It lets people know that you are open. And then I want you to work on that hallway. And before you can clean things, you need to get rid of all the rubbish, all of the clutter. Because how can you clean things with so much of that old stuff still there? And here's the interesting thing. If you don't have a need for it, or if it doesn't enhance the aesthetics, if it doesn't bring you joy and make you smile, there is no need for it here. Because this is a home within inside your mind. Because you have memories that you've forgotten, not because your memory is so bad, because there is no need for those memories. You were taught things at school that you've long forgotten because it didn't make you smile and it wasn't useful. And what if you start thinking of everything like that? Does it have a use, or does it bring you joy? And if it doesn't, off it goes. Because the less clutter that you have in this hobbit hole, the more opportunity you have to fill it with things that really are useful and really do make you smile. And I want you to imagine that you have not just the strength of a hobbit, and of course they're very strong, but a hobbit that has faced evil and adversity. And I want you to imagine using that strength to get rid of all of this clutter. Is it useful? Does it make you smile? Does it bring joy to your life? And if it doesn't, out it goes. And I want you to make the biggest bonfire that you can outside the front of your hole there on the garden. Because you've already figured out that after the bonfire is gone, you can use that ash to make the right kind of soil to grow new vegetables. You get a sense of how much could you put on that bonfire. And you do. Any old chairs, bits of wood, old pictures, rubbish, things that you thought you needed but now don't, get rid of all of it. And then light that bonfire as the sun sets in the Shires. And it's already attracting a crowd. People wondering what's happening. What's happening to this old hobbit hole that nobody thought could be restored? Most of the hobbits thought this was a lost cause. And yet here you are, proving them wrong. I want you to get a sense that the hole is now clear of clutter. And as the clutter goes, the clarity increases. It's almost that you can think more clearly as the clutter goes. But now it's about making it nice. And the nicer you make your hole, the more your self-esteem increases. I want you to make it in the colours that you like. All your favourite memories, turn them into pictures. Put them on the walls. Maybe you want to make it cozy or functional. Make it exactly as you want it to be. And then I want you to start working on the garden. When the inside is as you want it to be, start working on the outside. And isn't it interesting that with flowers, you have to plant the seed before you see the flower? And I want you to get a sense that decisions that you make now and in the next few days will be the flowers of your future. Sometimes things take time to take root, to grow, to blossom and bloom. And I want you to get a sense that you are making a garden for the future. All those goals, those dreams, those plans, plant them now. And by doing what's necessary now, the future you will thank you when it's sat there in the garden admiring those flowers, but only because an earlier version of you had the foresight to plant the seeds. And I want you to get a sense of what things can you do today or tomorrow? What seeds can you plant that the future you will be grateful for? What choices can you make about what you eat and what you do that the future version of you will benefit from smelling those flowers? You get a sense that as the hobbit hole becomes nicer, more homely, that your mental state has improved. It's almost like when you arrived, you were anxious and stressed and overwhelmed, and now, enjoying your home and your garden, perhaps cooking yourself a healthy meal of vegetables that you've grown yourself. Isn't it interesting how a lot of those things that were overwhelming before now seem completely within your grasp, completely within your own realm? And I want you to get a sense that you're not just making this place nice, you're making it protect you in the right way. I want you to imagine building a fence around the garden. And near the gate, having little bells attached to the gate so that if anyone enters, it alerts you. And any good hobbit knows that you've got secret ways out in case of any danger. But you're not expecting it. It's just good to be safe and precautious. And you get a sense that you have the right boundaries in place. But I want you to get a sense that in the past, you've invited the wrong things inside your home. And maybe they had good intentions, like protection, like support. And perhaps what was useful before isn't so useful now. And I want you to get a sense as you open the gate to your garden that it's time to leave for all those beliefs, resources, and emotions that no longer serve you. But don't worry, you'll still see them in the Shire. They just won't be in your home. And what if there were resources in the Shire, beliefs in the Shire, feelings, resourceful states in the Shire that you'd quite like to be in your home? I want you to get a sense that you are inviting everything that you desire, everything that takes your life in exactly the right direction into your home. But rather than other hobbits that you're being hospitable to, you are inviting beliefs. Beliefs that you can live the life you deserve, that you are valuable, worthwhile, that you have an important role to play, that you are destined for incredible adventures and good experiences. Allow all these beliefs to be welcome in your home. And perhaps there were beliefs that tried to serve you but no longer do. Beliefs about not being capable enough, not being good enough. Maybe they've been in your home for too long, and it's time for them to leave. As you open the gate and say your goodbyes, watch those beliefs go away. Not just those beliefs, but any beliefs that no longer serve you. Any emotions that are disproportionate to giving you the value of life that you need, it's time for them to go too. Because a bit of frustration is useful if it means that you care. And a bit of anxiety is useful if it helps you to prepare. But too much anxiety means you avoid the world, build barriers, hide behind clutter, and it's no longer necessary for you now. As you say goodbye to those beliefs and those feelings that you don't need anymore, welcome in the new ones, like joy, confidence, self-belief. You already have that sense of fun and adventure. And I want you to feed those beliefs and those emotions with the healthiest, most delicious, nutritious meals, so that those beliefs and feelings that you really admire and like, they get stronger. No longer are they neglected. They grow with you. And just imagine that you can have dinner parties and meals with these beliefs and feelings, these goals and dreams. You can make friends with your future, admiring the flowers and appreciating pictures on the wall of memories that haven't even happened yet. You have an exciting life ahead of you. And all you needed to do was to clear out the clutter. And the physical clutter is the least important of all the clutter. It's those old beliefs, those old memories, those old fears. That's the real clutter to get rid of. But isn't it interesting that sometimes it's easier to get rid of the clutter in our minds when we get rid of the clutter in our lives? And I want you to imagine sitting on a chair there, enjoying your evening. Enjoying your evening knowing that You are in a hobbit hole that you can be proud of. That you enjoy being in. And I want you to do what all good hobbits can do. And that is dream about the future. And perhaps you're in a rocking chair or on a sofa, just enjoying your life with a huge sense of gratitude as you start thinking about your future. What would that future be like? What plans do you have? Because isn't it interesting that when you let go of the baggage, you're able to feel more free. You're able to explore new places knowing that you have that desirable home to go back to. And you also know that the more welcoming your home is, the more opportunities there are for good friendships, simple pleasures, to cultivate loyal friendships, to share jokes and meals and stories with friends and family. As you continue to think about your future. What will it be like? There are only two key important things in life: your time and what you choose to do with it. And as you think about your future, you can't help but dream about the kind of future that lights you up, that gets you excited, that makes you want to be the very best version of you that you can be. Because sometimes when you feel that you should do things and you have to do things, it can add a weight to an event that needn't be there. But when you start asking yourself, what do I get to do rather than what I have to do? It starts giving you the energy of possibility, of adventure. And you already know that of all the hobbits in the Shire, you have the resources to deal with challenges and adversity because you've done it before. What many are scared of, you've already accomplished and got through and out the other side. And therefore you have trust in yourself that you can do things far outside of your comfort zone. Knowing that everything will be either okay or an opportunity to be even better than you already are. And you get a sense of just how bright that future is. Just in your imagination, sitting there in that rocking chair, turn up the brightness, turn up the colours, and notice that not all of that future is in the Shire. It could be far, far away. Because you know that you have the resources to meet any challenge. And I want you to get a sense that it all started with one simple goal: to clean up your home. Because when you clean up your home, you clean up your mind, and when you clean up your mind, you invite possibility in. And that feels enticing and exciting and optimistic and hopeful. and to go on an adventure, you need to be fit and healthy. So you'll be choosing to eat delicious, healthy foods. Not because you have to, but because you get to. You get to do that very thing that makes you feel strong and energetic, courageous and wise. And then realize that this is just a hobbit dreaming about the future, there in a rocking chair, inside a home, a very clean home, an inviting home, free of clutter there, in the Shire, in Middle-earth. But what if this was a dream, within a dream, within a dream? And actually, you're in your own real home right now. I want your unconscious to map across all of these strategies into your real life. What baggage do you need to get rid of? What things no longer serve you? What can you do to take your life in exactly the direction that you want to take it? And I want you to imagine perhaps a bedroom, currently with things that don't need to be there. And just know that as you free yourself from the baggage of the past, you create endless possibilities for the future. And what you lose in clutter, you will get back in clarity. In a few moments' time, I'm going to count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling highly optimistic, highly resourceful, looking forward to the future, and looking forward to spring clean your mind in real life, just as you have in your own mind. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.